anyway, but now, so you've opened the door, Kaz, for something I was going to do anyway, but now I can make it specific to your situation. All right, so let's do that, shall we?
Real?
Okay. So first of all, Kaz, so you want £3,000 a month. Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to get a, and this will not work unless you do the first step, okay? So first step is you need to produce a picture, all right? A montage of pictures maybe, but something graphically that shows and explains to you what this goal is, okay? Now, it's easy when someone says, well, I want a car, I want a house, I want, you know, all sorts of things that are physical like that. But so you've got to be creative. You've got to, you know, it sounds like your husband's Nick's creative, so maybe get him roped in on working something. But a picture that means something to both of you, that's better, that you put up in 7 different places minimum around your home. So that it, you know, the word, the clear, concise mental picture is overused and people don't really understand what it means. But once you've got a picture around the home, you're now doing an advertising campaign to your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind is the most powerful thing that you have. And I'll give you a really good example of how it works. Have you ever said to yourself, before you go to bed, right, I need to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, and you sleep in? Have you ever done that?
Yep.
Come on, hands up who's ever done that. I'd see, yeah, you knew you were in on that. But have you ever done this? Have you ever said to yourself, right, I need to get up early in the morning, and you put the alarm clock on, right? And you wake up 5 minutes before the alarm. Hands up who's done that. All right, so now here, all of us, isn't that amazing? Now, interestingly, what that is that when you put the alarm on, yeah, you have made a commitment to get up at that time in the morning. So when you say, right, I need to get up in the morning, and I found, you know, that Sundays was when I used to go, right, I need to get up early in the morning, got lots to do. And then boom, wake up and it's 9 o'clock. I think, oh my God, half the day's gone. So on Sunday mornings, I still put the alarm on. And bizarrely, I wake up at 5 to 6 before the alarm goes off. So, so if we know that our subconscious mind is working even when we're asleep, it's powerful. So Kaz, you can have this easily, right? This is easily done if you have your subconscious mind working with you, okay? Because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a dream. When you're dreaming, do you, in the middle of let's say you dream that, you know, you're walking down the road with an elephant, yeah? And you don't, in your dream, you don't go, this is ridiculous, this must be a dream. And that's because your subconscious mind totally 100% believes you're walking down the road with an elephant, okay? That's that. So your subconscious mind is like a 2-year-old. It will believe everything that goes in. So you have these pictures around the room that even when you can't see them, even when they're on the peripheral of your eyesight, to the right or to the left, it will go in, it will go in, it'll go in, it'll go in. And your subconscious mind now believes that Nick's going to give up work. He's going to become a full-time director and be, you know, picking up his Oscar, and, you know, the rest is history. It will believe that, I promise you. So the power of our subconscious mind is crazy. It's and you sometimes you've got to be careful what you ask for. Yeah.
Yes.
It's so powerful, right? It's so powerful. This is why my children would tell you that if they say the word can't around me, or if they say something negative about themselves, you know, I'm like, you know, what's going on here? Yeah, you're delivering that garbage into your head. So that's the first step, and that's probably 80% of it actually happening. Now, obviously, you've got to, the next step is you've got to go to work, you know, because there are some crazy people out there, particularly Christians, that believe that if they pray, you know, the money's going to come through the letterbox, yeah, and they don't have to do anything. And using, so the next thing you've got to do, Kaz, is you've got to, and this is good for you because Nick can help you with this, you've got to direct your own movie, all right? So you are the A-lister, you are the star in your movie, right? Now that means you've got to learn your lines. That means you've got to play your part. That means you've got to stumble forward. That means you've got to try, fail, and adjust. That means, you know, there isn't, you know, it isn't one take. Yeah, you don't, you know, no actor. The great Robert De Niro does not do one take, you know, for a movie. He's working on a movie for months, years, sometimes films take. So you are the A-lister star who's going to get the Oscar in that movie, okay? And this is the work that you've got to put in, is 3 things. Number 1 is your skills. Number 2 is your mindset. And number 3 is your activity. So starting with the skills, you've got to go online to the Flynnstars success system, and you've got to master, you know, every great actor and actress, before they stamp their personality on a part, has to learn their lines. So you have to learn incidentally, where do you know third-party referral from? What did they say that caused us to get together tonight? Did they tell you what we were able to do for them? Blah, 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 blah. You just have to learn that. And you can learn that because I'm sure you can sing your favorite song when it comes on the radio. So you know, and I'm old-fashioned. The way I learned my lines is I stood in front of a mirror and I just read it out over and over and over again. You can play it in your ear over and over and over again. That'll work too if you're auditory, and so on and so on. So you just got to learn the scoop, the carryback, and the referral system, and the follow-up interview. And the good news is there's recordings on the back office of the Flynnstars success system. And, you know, and the best way to learn it, because we're all busy people, is to have downtime. You know, I hate saying this because it brings up all sorts of questions that don't need answering really. And that is, I read about 40 to 50 books a year, and people kind of go, wow, I haven't got time for that. And my argument is, nor have I. All I do is 1 chapter every morning before I get out of bed. I will not pull the covers off myself until I've read 1 chapter of whatever book I'm reading. And then before I go to sleep, I'll read at least 1 chapter again. And 2 chapters a day is 40 books a year. So in order to get to that $3,000 a month, Kez, you've got to become the person who can achieve that. Because if you were already the person, you'd already be there, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. So, you know, behind you, there's a stack of books there, you know, so you're used to having books around. So you've got to get the right material and the right books to read to become the person. And, you know, it's such a hot topic in my hierarchy at the moment. There's so many people that just don't believe in self-development. And the challenge with that belief is that they're going to remain the person they are, and therefore, you know, their level of thinking, unfortunately, then will be reflected in their activity, which is reflected in their income. So I've known you a long time, Kaz, and I know that you're a different person from when I first met you. And I know that in the next couple of years, you're going to be a different person again. And I honestly believe you're going to be a senior vice president and a leader of lots of people. Because if you've got this goal of $3,000 a month, then you know, you've got it. That's the hardest part. So so there's the skills you've got to learn. That's doable. Mm-hmm. The only question is, how badly do you want it? How badly do you want to be good at getting 10 to 15 to 20 to 30 referrals on a carryback? Yeah, that's the only questions. How badly want this $3,000 a month? And with those pictures up, those pictures will ask you the question every day. And they'll ask you the question in the key clutch moments when you don't feel like it. Okay. I took some notes last night while I was reading. Well, I wasn't actually, I was listening to this guy on YouTube. It was a great guy called Peter Sage. I've never heard of him until recently, and he's phenomenal. And you get this, like he said, commitment is the thing that you said you were going to do when you're not in the mood to do it, or something like that. Commitment is the thing you said you were going to do, and you do it when you're not in the mood to do it. And I thought, wow, that's intense. That is, because that is so visual, so true. Like most days, I'm not in the mood to do 2-hour power hour, but I've set myself up to win. And you've got to find different ways to set yourself up to win, so that you do things you know you need to do when you don't want to do it. So the way I set myself up to win is I told everybody I'm going to do this power hour until my bake shop does 100 recruits in 1 month. And of course, when I don't feel like doing it, I'm like, oh, I got to do it because I told them. Oh. Oh, what an idiot. Yeah. You know, so you've got that kind of devil on your shoulder, if you like, going, oh, what did you do that for? That was stupid. But on the other shoulder, it's like, no, I want this 100 recruits in 1 month. Okay. And then the other way, so the other thing that, so I'm drinking I've got this health lady that I've been working with for 2 years now, and she's been very, very helpful. And she's taught me a few things to do. So I've got these drinks that you've got to drink, you know, the health drinks, and you think, oh God, they taste awful, but you know, they're good and they're green and they're, you know, and anyway, the only way I can force myself to do it is the night before. I have to set myself up for win and make them so that they're looking at me when I walk in the kitchen in the morning. And oh, there they are. Yeah, okay, got to drink those. Yeah, oh, okay. So I'll do it. But if I don't make it the night before, it's less likely to be consumed. So it's setting yourself up to win. So you've got to find ways of tricking that person that you are when you're not in the mood. How do you do that? Well, you work that out for yourself and kind of keep. And then the third thing, Kaz, just promise me you'll do this one thing, right? Because this is the commitment for you, right? This is the closer of getting you to do it. And that is, you keep a journal that you write every day of how the journey of going from where you are now to hitting your goal, because that creates commitment. And all it creates commitment. It will also act as a memory that that you can refer back to, which will build your confidence, particularly when you're writing in the journey. I just didn't feel like it today, but I did it anyway. Yeah, and all your feelings and all your emotions are in that journal and recorded. Will strengthen your character. Yeah, because it's your character that's being tested. That's the challenge with Genostar, isn't it? Is that there's no hiding place. Yeah, our character is transparent. Isn't that annoying? Oh no. Whereas if you've got a job, you can hide. Yeah, you can go in, you can do a day, you get paid. You can do a good day, a bad day. It makes no difference. You still get paid, and you can hide. But in fact, the thing I love about Genostar is that it turns our insides out and reveals to everyone, because what we do is measurable, and our income is based on how good we are, not how good we were at negotiating a salary. Okay, mm-hmm. So keep a journal, because okay. It'll save you when you start going on that path. I'll see if I can draw something here for you, because I think this will help you a lot. Let's use this one here. Okay, can somebody make me a co-host?
I ask this every time. I'm so sorry.
Got my name on the screen.
Yeah, got it.
Right. Here we go. So, here you are, Kaz, and that's you going towards $3,000 a month. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, there's no such thing as that. It just doesn't, in our style of business, you're either compounding positively or you're compounding negatively. So what happens is that, okay, there's no such thing as level in our business. You're either going towards your goals or you're going further away, because it's a mindset thing, all right? So you make a decision today, for example, to come on the Power Hour, or I know you've got your own Power Hour, right? You're on a Power Hour, you make that decision today, that's now taking you on that line, okay? So you're going here. But if you don't go on a Power Hour today, then you're on this line. And the more you get on this line, the more, so you're here, and then you're here, and then you're here. And this is where you get stuck. And it's so hard if you're here on a downward curve to get up to here, right?
Yeah.
Which you've got to start all over again. Now, it's at about day 35 when you do something that's habitual. This is called the habit curve, all right? When you do something that's habitual, yeah, after 35 days, you can't stop yourself now. You're doing it every single day. So, and I love doing that with things in my life. So 2 years ago, when I had to make a big change in my life, I picked on a few things, one to get better at golf and one to get better at swimming. And I'm kind of on the verge of conquering both of them. And the only way that I could do it, it was every day, daily habit, do something. With golf, you can't do it daily, but I would visualize every day about my golf, see myself hitting the shots, see myself getting pars and birdies. But actually, you've got to do it habitually, right? In order, and the thing is about this habitual curve, it's annoying because nothing happens for such a long time. You actually think you're on this line, and you think, what the heck's going on here? So to give you an example, if you look at my base shot results for the last 90 days, there's been lots of yeses, lots of recruitment, but the premium is still at 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 a month. We'll probably finish on about 8,000 this month. And yet we're recruiting 20 to 30 people. And I know that there's a naysayer kind of behind my back going, yeah, you see, but Steve Jenkins' team doesn't write any business. Well, of course not, because it takes 90 days for the pipeline to fill up. So I know that I keep recruiting, and eventually the promotions of getting to team leader, senior team leader, group leader, and beyond, there's going to be enough hunger within my team for them to go, yeah, okay, I've got to go and write 5 grand or 10 grand or whatever it is they need to do. So it will compound, and boom, it'll start going. And then the thing is that when all of a sudden it'll, like overnight, there'll be £20,000 come in. And people go, wow, how did that happen? Well, they didn't see the daily grind of doing the Power Hour day after day after day. They haven't seen. I shot a 41 at golf, Barrett's listening. I shot 41 on Saturday. And these are good examples, because Barrett and I played golf 2 years ago, which is when I started to really take it a little bit serious and start, getting lessons and stuff. And we played a couple of weeks ago, and I was 10 shots better than him. And 2 years ago, he was 10 shots better than me. The difference is that he was shocked when he saw me play, but he hasn't seen the daily grind of me doing it and getting better and better and better. And it was fascinating because this year, to give you some numbers on it, I was shooting like 48 and then 51. And there was one bad one where I shot like 55. And then I go up, and after one lesson, I dropped down to 47 and then back up to 50. And then I did a 44. And then I went back up to 50, and then I did like a 47, and then I just shot a 41. So it's amazing that all of a sudden, all the things that you've learned come together, and boom, this starts to happen up here. So skills, your mindset. The mindset's the same as the skills. You need to do something, on a regular basis. You need to be reading a book. You need to be watching some good material. The great thing about YouTube is there's probably 100,000 hours on there of stuff that you can get into. just take this one particular guy, you know, and his language is a little bit choice. He does swear occasionally, not too much that it off puts, but if you can put up with that, he's really, really good. His name's Peter Sage. There's another guy called Jordan B. Peterson, who is a psychologist and very, very good, brutal, in fact. But, you know, that might be a bit tough to take for some of you, I don't know, but try them out. Just experiment, see what you like, see who you get on with, and get these people coaching you it's good. This good stuff into their life. This guy Peter Sage has spent over 30 years studying the human mind and what makes us do the things we do and don't do. So he's bound to have some good stuff, even if you don't like him. And it's free, a lot of it. We all know what this curve looks like. And I'll tell you what that curve's mainly to do with. It's to do with the third thing you've got to master. It's the activity. When we're not doing the things that we know we need to do. But it's the skills and the mindset that give you the confidence to do the activity. So IT, you might be able to help me here, because you have had a good period. And I remember when we talked about this a while back, it was because you said you're doing daily power hours. Is that right?
Yes, Steve. Though I haven't done some for the last few days, though.
Well, that's all right. It's been a weekend. Give yourself a break. But yeah, but you know, don't worry. That happens. But what you had is you had some experience of this curve starting to rise. How long would you say you consistently did power hours? Can you remember roughly?
When did we proper start in 2022? Was it about March time or so?
Yeah, end of March. I want to say end of March, sort of beginning of Easter, weren't it?
Yeah,
I jumped on just after Easter.
Yeah, from Easter time. So I think we got back from London from the EVP meeting, then after the funeral. So I'll say probably end of March was when we started. But I think for me though, not just the power hours, but doing it with people, for me personally, that's what made the difference. I like, some people are blessed, they can work by themselves, but I'm not there yet. So I think, so I think just knowing that Kaz and Tom are there, then Kaz will post it, and being Bharat, other people will join as well. I would say that's where it all starts, with the phone calls at the end of the day. That's where it all starts.
Yeah, it does. It creates the activity, doesn't it? So
yes.
Yeah. So, and do you know how many days you did it in a row? What would you say if I was to say what's your record? How many days consistently have you done it?
I would say probably from the end of March till about, I would say probably last week. So I would say we've done it consistently, easily 6 days a week of just making phone calls. And the truth is, there are days when I think what's made a difference this time is there are days when I come on and I genuinely do not feel like making calls for 2 hours, but I'll be like, okay, so why not we just do 30 minutes today? Just start with 30 minutes. And before you know what's happening, you start making phone calls, other people come on, they start making you laugh, and then you just keep going. So I would say easily I have done it now for over 30 days straight. I've just come from a period of some ill health, so I'm looking to start again from today. So and it's good. It's good when you're dealing with people. I must say that. Sorry, I keep emphasizing that.
That's all right. No, and I'm the same. I can't do it on my own. You know, there was one day, it was a Saturday, I think, a couple of weeks ago, where I put the Zoom on, and I was the only one on there, and I struggled really, really hard to. Because my brain was going, well, no one will know. I'll just turn the button off here. I'll slide across the sofa and just watch some football, or, you know, because it was a Saturday. I could go to golf early. And I was like, no, I've got to do it. So And I made my calls and I pushed myself, and God, and that went in my journal, you know, and that was a day that I remember for a long time, because it was a day where my character grew. And but yeah, I'm the same. I've got to have people. You know, there was another day where something similar happened, and I was genuinely like, oh, I'll just go make myself a cup of tea. Went and made myself a cup of tea, and I came back and I was just about to turn the button off, and someone came on. I was like, oh no, almost got away with it. So, you know, and I remember writing that in my journal. That was one of the ones in the early days. And it's just, if you can do it every day, 80% of success is just showing up, isn't it? Yeah. I read something by Roger Federer. When Roger Federer was a young man just starting tennis, in Nadal, you know, they've known each other since they were teenagers, along with Andy Murray. You know, they used to play in teenage tournaments. And of course, they know this success trait here of the habit curve. They know all about this stuff because they've got people, you know, that they pay that put it into their head. And Federer was advised to just take a break from training, tennis elbow or something. I don't know. I can't remember the detail of the story. And he said, no, I've got to go because I know Nadal's going to notice I'm not there if I don't turn up for training. So what he decided to do is he decided to practice playing left-handed just to protect his elbow or his arm or whatever. And his coach said, well, what are you doing that for? What's the point? You know, you're never going to play left-handed. He said, because if I don't show up, that gives my opponent the edge. And I thought, wow. And that's true that 80% of showing up 80% of success is just showing up. So there are people, and what's going to happen is this, all right? So the way you're going to get to $3,000 every month, right? And because what I want you to do now is I want you to change your thinking, Kaz. We've talked about $3,000 and you're feeling good about that now, aren't you? All right, it's kind of doable. Yeah, I can do all of this, all right? But let me put the cement on top of the sand that we've created that locks in the $3,000. The $3,000. I didn't need to get rid of that bit, but the $3,000 is now going to get locked in if you kind of do this next bit, as well as what we've already discussed. Okay. The challenge is that when we're here and we want to go here, is that it's a little bit like an elastic band. All right. I've stretched the elastic band, and it's so easy for that elastic band to snap back. Right. All it takes is one day where you don't do the power hour, or, you know, a week where you just felt miserable and, you know, you just didn't want to do it. And, you know, your emotions get the better of you. We've all been there. But the way to pour the cement on is to stop thinking about the $3,000 and go past that to senior vice president. Because now what's happened is that this is done. So you aim past where you're going. You know, my golfing coach says when I putt, you've got to aim the ball to go past the hole, because if it drops short of the hole, it's got no chance of going in. Whereas if you aim past it, even if you've hit it slightly wrong, it hits a divot, whatever, it's still got a chance of going in the hole. So you've got to aim past the hole, and you've got to think beyond. So when that happens, yeah, when you snap back, the elastic band goes back, you're at your £3,000 a month. Okay. So how do we do that? Well, just change the picture in your mind and look at senior vice president. The senior vice president has 3 vice presidents, right? 3 vice presidents plus your base up here. You know, a bad month is going to be $3,000 a month. Now you know with confidence that Nick can quit his job and go and do his passion. How good would that make you feel?
Oh, awesome. Oh, unbelievable.
If it was grade it out of 10, you'd probably say 1,000, right?
Oh, yeah.
So an SVP isn't that hard. And, you know, it's very interesting that quite often when I'm doing interviews, people will turn around and ask the question, so how long does it take to get to EVP? How long does it take to get to SVP? How long does it take? How long does it take? And actually, to get to SVP takes about 180 days. Okay. All right. The challenge is that it's the 180 days is after you've made the decision. So people faff and drift and hide during this period here. And this hasn't got a time limit on it. It could be, infinite, so it's 180 days from the day you make the decision. So we spend most of our career in this period here, drifting. Yeah, it's a rare thing when you see someone who's on it all the time, 100% of the time. In fact, I don't know of anyone who's done that. So it's from the day you make the decision, it takes about 180 days, 6 months to become an SVP. And what does that look like? Well, power hour every day. Yeah, unless medically it's not possible. Yeah. Power hour every day. Yeah. And you even when clients want to see you at that time, no, I can't, because like the Roger Federer story, you can't, you've got to show up. Yeah, you've got to show up to that power every day, because what happens, this is how you get to SVP, is that, and this is why I had a tough dilemma, not a dilemma, but a tough decision to make over the weekend. I've had a few people from different hierarchies ask me, can they come onto my power hour because their shops aren't doing it? And I kind of said sure, because it's hard to say no to something like that. And as we're all becoming shareholders anyway, it kind of thinks, well, okay, it makes sense. So I then put it up there last night for the first time and said, right, anyone can come. And I don't want to upset anyone, I don't want to tread on anyone's toes, but at the end of the day, we're all shareholders. So what difference does it make? And it was a tough decision to make, because I know what's going to happen now. We're typically getting 10 people show up, not the same 10 people, but it's going to go to 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, and why not 500? There's 500, the ability to have 500 people on my Zoom account. But this is what happens. And it made me think, this is how the compound effect works. You do it every day, and all of a sudden what's going to happen, and your team see you posting your yeses on your social media group. Now, all of a sudden, people are going to start joining you, Cass. Your team are going to be involved. Yeah. When you recruit someone, you say, yeah, we do a power hour every day. Well, every day. Yeah. Now you don't have to turn up every day, but once or twice a week, part-time would be good. So that's number one. Number two, you've got to have a league table. The league table within your, I've got some group leaders and other levels where people have got their own social media groups, and they post nice, kind of self-development phrases like action cures fear, and I nick most of them. When people post these things, I think, well, that's a good one, I'll nick that, and I put it in my little file so I can use them. So I'm not saying don't do that, but that's all they do. And then they'll post the links to training, and they'll post that. They don't do a league table. See, when you do a league table, what that's telling your people is that you're a leader. You're explicitly saying, I'm leading from the front. So, and the third thing you need to do is you need to lead. You need to be the one posting 3-4 yeses. John Maxwell's 5 levels of leadership changed my life when I read that, because the first position of leadership is the title that you've got. And that gains you a little bit of sway initially, but not for long. It's probably minutes. As soon as you've met someone, within 15 minutes, they've gone, oh yeah, they're an executive vice president. That's nice. Okay, yeah, they must be good. But very quickly after that, they're like, well, what are their results? Yeah. The second level of leadership is building a relationship, which all of us are good at. There isn't a single person on here that isn't good at building a relationship. So you build a relationship with someone so you can, start to form, ground rules between you. But the third level that John Maxwell talks about, go listen to his YouTube recording, because it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The third level is the results level. And the thing that I Google the most, or YouTube looking for the most, is personal responsibility. Yeah, personal responsibility is the toughest thing for a human being to make. Okay. Most people let themselves down by not doing the small commitments that they make. Yeah. If you consistently keep your small commitments to get your outcome that you have visualized, your character will change dramatically and quickly. And they're the three things you really need to do. Because then what happens is, during this, using this curve, you get a different habitual curve that then starts to happen. Okay, so this habit curve that I talked about earlier, yeah, this habit curve now is the numbers of people that show up on your power hour, yeah, or whoever's power hour. It doesn't have to be your power hour. Whatever power hour you're on, your team then start to show up. And now, as your team starts to show up, to become an SVP, you're looking for 3 individuals. All you need is 3 individuals. So let's say you start getting, so on mine, out of the 10, probably 5 of them are from my base shop, right? So I'm looking to take that 5 to 20 people from my base shop showing up. And out of that, there'll be 3 people that'll be hungry, that, have got good circumstances so they can show up most days. They've got, they've got the confidence, they've got the drive and the ambition, they're coachable, they're likable, all those things. And that's pretty much it. You lead with the S's and the rest takes care of itself. So there's your plan to get to SVP, Kaz. And the $3,000 a month is done. It's happened. So one of the things I admire about Daryl Harper more than anything else is that Daryl, when he says to me, done, I know he's here, because that bit's done, because he's aiming over here. Any questions?
Nope.
Any thoughts? What are your thoughts, Kaz?
Honestly, awesome, but at the same time, I've kind of got that other voice that, like, straight away I'm like, right, well, it's half term this week, so how can I fit it? Do you know what I mean? I'm kind of like it, and I think it's hard as well. What I find hard personally is when it's things like bank holidays or weekends and things like that. And I know the saying, do you know what I mean? You sacrifice now to have it. And I hear that voice, but at the same time, I'm like looking at the kids or wanting to do something family wise. And that struggle is one of the things I have more than anything. Like, do I go and do some work, or do I go and spend that time with the kids?
Both. So the most important thing for me in my life is my 4 sons. So I block out the time with them that they want and I want. All right. So, that there's nothing more important than that. But I guess what I don't do is I don't wake up in the morning and go, right, what am I going to do with the kids? Right. But the first thing to do, I would recommend you do, is you've got to get the law of buy-in. So speak to Nick and say, right, I've got this plan. I think I can get Genostar to get $3,000 a month, so you can go and do your thing and you can give up the job. And I think he'd be very interested to know what that plan is, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, right, okay. And you got to say, but what we need to do is we need to put a plan in place so that I can actually get it done. So we also need to speak to the kids about it. All right. So that they know when mummy's on the phone, yeah, they you know, they don't knock on the door and go, you know, I need to use the toilet, or I need to, you know, I need to eat something, mum. You know, can I have some chocolate? How old are your kids?
Well, oldest is about to leave, so he's going to Manchester in September. Nearly 18, 15 and 5.
Okay, so
The older two are
help with the 5-year-old. Yeah,
if they're
so
in.
there you go. There's part of the plan,
Yeah.
right? So look, I need to do this 2-hour slot 6 days a week, right? Everything else is, you know, is kind of, you know, you'll fit it in when you can, right? So so there's your plan, but there's some things that you've just got to do, you know, and hey, this is a lot less challenging than getting a full-time job.
Yeah.
2 hours a day instead of 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
You've got to get the kids and everybody to agree that if you do this, daddy can go full-time and go and get an Oscar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So it's just 2 hours. You say, right.
Yeah.
So then you kind of go, right. Now, because we're paying the price with mum doing that, let's organize what we're going to do, right? Let's, you know, so you say to them, what would be your goals? Where would you like to go during half term? A bank holiday, what would you like to do after 2 o'clock on bank holiday? I've got to do my calls for 2 hours. What are you going to do? What do you want to do in the afternoon? They'll come up with a long list of stuff, and you go, right, okay, I'm going to book that in. We're going to do that as a family. So yeah, you can have it all because you've got enough time. It's just planning it.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing I know about kids is that if they've got something to look forward to, they're fine. So my kids are looking forward to going to France this year for a week to see their granddad, because there's 2 of them haven't seen him in years because of COVID, right? You know, we've got, so my 17-year-old's about to turn 18. We got 2 days away together on a prestigious golf course. And then, you know, I remember taking, Matthew and I went to York 2 Christmases ago for 3 or 4 days. And all these, so they've all got something planning. We've got a trip for my 60th birthday booked to go across America, you know, in 3 years' time. We've got all these things planned. We're possibly going to Gibraltar for Christmas. We've got, you know, just one trip after another that we're all looking forward to. And so when we get together and we sit around a table in a restaurant, usually that's all we're talking about. And we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then, you know, so that gives them a focus. It gives them their own clear, concise mental picture. You can make that happen. You know, you just got to work around it.
Yeah, it's true. It's just getting my head in the right place with it.
It's not actually, it's actually asking yourself the hardest question of all is how badly do you want it? Betty Hammond's got 3, all younger than yours. Hers are all under 10, right? And she hit SVP in 2 years. And I like what she said. She said she found time to do the things that most people struggle with in the cracks between the things that she had to do. So that would be things like, you know, that 15-20 minute period between appointments, she would make some phone calls or read a chapter of a book, or and I love that phrase. Find the time to do things most people won't do in the cracks between the things you have to do. I mean, when you want something badly enough, you find a way. And you're right about paying the price. You pay a price now or pay the price later. But don't blame you know your role as a mother on not achieving your goals and dreams. Don't have it, because you're in danger of getting to an age where you'll be bitter about that. That frightens out of me.
Yeah.
Who wants to be bitter? I've got friends and family who are bitter and twisted. Yeah, because they couldn't unravel, you know, a clear path in order to achieve the things they can do. I mean, you know, $3 grand is not a lot of money. I promise you it's not. you know, in terms of what we do, I know it is what an average family receives, but in terms of what we do and the skill level that you've got, Kaz, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's 3 successful carrybacks a month. So you just got to, and the power hour does it. You know, you'll be booking in scoops, you'll be booking in recruits who want their financial gain plans. It's not difficult at all, but I'm not saying it's easy. It's simple to do, but it's not easy to do, because it's easy not to do it as well. That's the challenge. It's as easy not to do it as it is as easy to do it. And that's why this horrible word called discipline comes in, and that's where the mind games, you know, can get you.
Mhm.
Any other kind of things in your head that are kind of holding you back?
I don't think so. Probably. But I can't think it.
Yeah. The challenge is that when we're born, from 0 to 2, our subconscious mind just believes absolutely everything it's told, right? But then from 2 years of age onwards, we start communicating, and when we start, you know, kind of saying to our parents, I want that, and they say no, or why not, or, you know, and now all of a sudden that period of unconditional love changes from, if you're a good boy or girl, you'll get what you want, you know. And then of course we get screwed up as life goes on, because there's no kind of license to become a parent and do the, you know, and to do it all correctly, because, you know, life gets in the way. So, you know, we've all got this mishmash stuff going on in our head, and the only way you can kind of get past all of that, spend your life in therapy, which I'm not a fan of, or just understand how your subconscious works. Yeah, get your subconscious working on your behalf. Have you ever had, sorry, if you can't spell, just scribble. That's what I'm just doing there. So have you ever had anything in your life, Kaz, where you want it so badly, and even though you don't know how to get it, you find a way anyway? Anything? Yeah. Okay. Well, then if you want this badly enough, you'll find a way. You've got all the answers. You've got great coaches within Genistar to help you achieve those things, that have achieved the things you want to achieve, despite the circumstances, despite the challenges of being a mum, despite the challenges of whatever the challenges are. You can do it. It's just down to how badly you want it. I remember as a young teenager, all I wanted was a bike, and my mum and dad couldn't afford it because we were broke. You know, it was the middle of the recession, and we didn't have food, let alone a bike. But I found a way. I found a way to get that bike. Okay. I can remember when I was 22 years of age, joining the financial services industry, and I didn't have a suit. I borrowed my brother's, which was too short for me. All right, because my younger brother was taller than me. That's another issue. Anyway, but this suit didn't fit me, and my manager or boss at that time said, "You've got to go and get yourself a suit." And I walked into a Next shop, and I saw this suit, and I thought, wow. And I know I've just been told that I can get whatever I want if I want it badly enough. And I'd been on one of these training sessions, and I thought, right, I'm going to put this to the test. So I said to the guy behind the counter, I like that suit in the window. He said, oh, you can't have that one. That's a show suit, and it's about to come out of the window. We haven't got it. Well, why can't I have that particular suit? No, it's got to go back to head office. And all these objections come in. I thought, well, I want that suit. I've just been told I can have whatever I want if I want it badly enough. And anyway, he said, no. And I said, well, who's the boss? And he said, oh, a guy called George Davis. No clue who George Davis was. Next was a small company there. George Davis is, you know, a very famous bloke. You know, if you go to, he's got the George range, right? You know, the guy George in Asda, that's him, right? So I got the phone number back in those days from directory inquiries, and I picked up the phone and I said, hi, it's Steve Jenkins. I'd like to speak to George, please. And this lady went, what's your name? I said, Steve Jenkins. Is he expecting your call? No, but I want to speak to George. Anyway, I didn't get to speak to him initially, but she said, what's the story? I told the story, and she said, I'll get back to you. She called me back, and I long story short, you know, they said, yeah, go in there. We've told them you can have it. Now I go in there with no money, and I'm like, oh God, how am I going to do it? But then to the right of the till, I saw one of these cards that allowed you to get instant credit. So I said, yeah, no, I'm not, but I'm buying it through the instant credit thing. So the guy ran through the phone, because back in those days, that's how you do it to get the instant credit. And I got declined. I was 20, you know, I was a 0-star person, and I got declined. And I said, well, we're gonna have to speak to George again. Anyway, the guy said to the lady on the phone, just put it through. Trust me, just put it through. And how that worked, I don't know, but I got credit that I shouldn't have got, because I wanted it badly enough, because I wanted that suit. And I still have that suit today. 5 years later, I've got that suit hanging. Yes, and before you ask, no, it does not fit me. But it's a beautiful suit. It's still fashionable today, but just not the right, you know, it shrunk obviously over the years. And but you've all got stories like that, where there's something you want so badly, you don't know how, but you find a way. So what I'm saying is that I don't care what objection you put in front of me, I'll show you a way around it, because there is a way around everything. And it's fun. It's fun. Now, is there frustration? Absolutely. Every day there's frustration, but life gives you frustration, doesn't it? Life is getting frustration. I got a parking ticket the other day, and after about half an hour, I thought to myself, what the heck am I worried about? It's 30, 40 quid, whatever the fine's going to be. It's like, oh, get over it. You know, but, you know, you see people ranting and raving, and, you know, just there are more frustrating things going on in the world right now. You know, and to be serious for a second, there's one country in the world that's really got it bad. You know, I think a parking ticket or whatever other thing is frustrating you is nothing compared to what's going on over there. So go get what you want. It's there to be taken. It's there. It's yours. It's there to grab. Go after it. Go round it. Go under it. Yeah. Smash through it. Take a pickaxe to it. Sledgehammer. Go after it. And, you know, when you get there, you feel good. You feel incredibly good about not the recognition. You actually feel incredibly good about who you've become. It's amazing. There we go. I think we're done for today. I'm sorry I've done all the talking. I do apologize. I just wanted to, you know, kind of rant and rave a little bit.
No, thank you, Steve. No, that was really good.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I've never thought about it that way before, of the goal that you want being B, but instead aim towards C. That was an eye-opener.
Yeah, it tricks your mind into getting what you want. That's all you've done there, is you've just used your own psychology against yourself. And I know Darryl Harper does that a lot. And the first time I heard of it was a guy, Kevin, do you remember a guy called Jim something or other that did the star system?
I don't, Jim.
You know the star system. The guy, can't remember his name.
Oh, yes, in America, yes.
Yeah, the American guy that does the star system. He's a bit weird in many ways, but a genius in others. And that's when I first heard that, was when he said, yeah, just trick your brain into believing it's already done by aiming for the one that's afterwards. And the elastic band theory.
It's what top athletes do. 100-meter race, they don't aim on the finish line, because if they aim on the finish line, they'll slow down and just get to the finish line. They've got to aim 20 meters past the finish line, otherwise they won't be given it full tilt.
It makes sense. You know, something I read recently is that everyone knows the stat that 90% of limited companies that form fail. Okay, 90% of people who set up a business fail. And, you know, for years they had all these theories, and then they worked out what it is that when people go into business, they set a goal of starting a company. Well, that ain't going to get you anywhere, is it? Anyone can do that. It's like 20 quid online. You've started a company. Congratulations. But if you set the goal to actually make yourself 100,000 in a year, the start is not the goal. You're then past that. You're talking over here at the 100 grand a year. Whereas what most people do says, yeah, I'm going to go into business. That's my goal. Congratulations. You spent 20 quid online and 10 minutes filling in a form. And that's the biggest problem, is that it's what goes on in the head. It's an amazing subject that, is a lifetime trying to conquer it if you want to. But maybe I'm mad, but I enjoy all that stuff. I enjoy testing, challenging, working out how to get better at something. I mean, what else is there to do? Watch a soap opera? Yeah. Be miserable about the fact Liverpool didn't do the quadruple? Yeah. There's no point. It's amazing in the Liverpool group. I don't know if you've seen it, Kevin, but people are like suicidal, aren't they? And it's, hang on a sec. We played 63 football matches and we lost 4. One of which was what they call a dead rubber. It didn't count. So 63 football matches and we've lost 3. I mean, that's pretty incredible, isn't it? I mean, and people are just hanging themselves because they're, over a flipping football game. I mean, there's more to life. There's more to life. So,
Can you guys still win?
no, it's finished. No,
it's over. Oh.
Yeah, we lost by 1 point and we lost on Saturday by 1 goal. So tiny margins, inches. And this is the amazing thing, and I'll finish on this about success, is that they had 1 shot on goal in the whole 90 minutes and they won the game. Okay. There were 3 incidents where we had a shot on the goal, where one of them, where the goalkeeper got his fingertips to it, deflected it onto the post, on the inside of the post, and it came back. Now, I can't tell you how many times that ball in normal circumstances hits the back of the goalkeeper and goes in the net. Or, a few more millimeters, well, first of all, hitting his fingertips, it would have gone in if that hadn't happened. It hit his fingertips, Bim, and then hit the inside of the post. That usually goes in. So there's one. And then there was another one where he just point blank made a save, which was a miracle, how he got his hands to it. And another one where, it was going in, it was going in. My hand, I was up in the air, and he got his fingertips and turned it around the post. So we're talking millimeters between success and failure at that level. I mean, when you're talking about the biggest game in the world at that level, if you like the Super Bowl of football, yeah, you win millimeters. And it's the same in Genostar. Yeah, you turn up every day to do a power hour, 2 hours a day. Even if you turn up with no numbers to call, you turn up, yeah, you're going to win every day if you turn up. Because what happened to me is, which was wonderful and such a beautiful moment that you're going to get as well, is that I turned up every day and I'm the only one making phone calls. And all that's happening is these people are coming on and they're listening to me. And I'm going, okay, I'll make it. And they're giving me their lists and I'm ringing them and I'm ringing them. And I'm thinking, when the heck is somebody going to catch on? 2 weeks it took. And one of the ladies started making some phone calls. And I said, oh, great. And she got 10 yeses on one of her first days. And I'm like, great. And I'm thinking, right, I've got to milk this to encourage other people. And I said, so what happened? And she said these words, which were so powerful. She said, Steve, I just started speaking to people and your words started coming out of my mouth. I thought, wow. She just listened intently, took notes, and then copied. And now someone else is doing it. Now I've got a third person doing it. And I got 4 or 5 people in my base shop turning up most days, getting yeses. And we're hitting 20 yeses a day on average. And all I need to do is to keep doing that and get it up to 40 or 50 a day. And I'll do my goal of 100 recruits a month by November. That's the plan. Do you see how I set myself up to win there by telling all of you that? Oh my God, I've told them all that. I've got to do it now. I've got to do it. All right. So yeah. Hey, and if I hit 80, I'm not going to cry about that. Okay, so lovely chatting to you guys. Sorry it was all about me today, but really it wasn't. It was all about you and your goals and your dreams, and just go after them. Yeah. Love you all. Take care. God bless. See you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you,
Steve.
Steve.
Appreciate
Bye
it.
bye.
Bye. Whoa.
What a great session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Wow,
is.
very good.
Never
Okay.
thought of the curves in that way. You're either going towards it or away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of hear these things all the time, but it gives us more clarity, like when Steve talks.
Yeah. So it's skills, mindset, activity, and power hour, turning up as 80%, and you're nearly there. And that feeling of having done it at the end, I think, is what's really great. Are there any other things we need to talk about regarding the timetable for team training? That's all set up, isn't it, for the next Steel convention? Yeah.
We need to just get recognition in this week, but we can do that as part of good news because it's end of the month, like beginning of the new month.
Yes.
You do it as proper recognition, isn't it?
Yeah, I did it last time with pictures, didn't I?
You were amazing the last time when you did it.
Thank you. IT, is there anything you need t-shirt wise, or how's?
No,
These
finally,
sizes.
just finally, I've managed to pull out all the numbers and all. So I just need to speak to the guy you mentioned, compare him to the other guy here in Manchester, and then just go with whichever one gives us the best deal.
Okay.
So hopefully I should be able to box that off today, because I need to just get it done, because we literally have like a month to convention. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Oh, that's great. Well, great to see you all. And I think we'll see you all on Power Hour.
No problem.
How's you going to post it today?
Just to let you know, I'm looking after my friend's kids this morning, so I won't be on Power Hour. I just you saying like start this week. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I've got 3 kids turning up in a minute.
Okay.
Oh my God. How have you landed yourself in this, Kaz?
Because it's my friend, whose mum passed away, so she's finally put getting the house on the market, her mum's house on the market. And so she was at the dentist, which is near me, but then they've got the lady coming to take the photos at 12. So the dentist was meant to be 10:30. So I said, well, drop them off at mine. I'll watch them while so then you don't have to take kids and stuff like that, which is fine. Kobe's best friend. So she's just for me. It's her with, I don't know, I was telling somebody about the memory course, that she has a really bad memory. She went on she got asked to go on a memory course, forgot to go. My favourite story ever. But they don't send reminders. Why don't you send reminders? Anyway, she just phoned me and said, done my usual, turned up to the dentist, it's tomorrow.
Oh no.
I went, that's that.
Oh, that is too funny. That is too
Keeps
funny.
me going. She keeps me going with these stories. I love it. But yeah, so like that's what I was trying to kind of get at, like with my in my head. But yeah, anyway, well, we will crack on. I'll do 2 hours at some point today.
No problem. And is it okay if I catch up with you real quick?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you want to speak on the phone or?
Yeah. Oh, we can just continue. If you stop recording now, because it's literally recording everything. No problem. Bye.